Hello everyone, my name's Hooten and welcome to the GenX Analytics YouTube channel. Now, the market, something that me and you have got to talk about. It's not been great. I'm going to go over a couple of bits today, just in terms of what my sort of opinion is on why the market might have dumped so much. Maybe it's in relation to news of the coronavirus variant and some other bits and bats. So I'm going to go through my opinion today. And I'm also going to show some websites that I use just to pull off a little bit of data in terms of different blockchains and their total value locked. That's changed quite a bit. We've got a nice little heat map to show you, or you might not want to see it, but just face it. So sit back, relax, get a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, whatever your preference is. We'll sit down and we'll get through this together. All right, now this is what the heat map is looking like at the moment. As you've probably known already, the market this weekend hasn't done quite so well. There's been quite a big dump. Some altcoins seeing over 30% retracement in 24 hours, which isn't unheard of in crypto. It's definitely not nice to hear of. But yeah, it is something that's happened before if you've been in the crypto space for a while. So as you can see, there's not a lot that's doing quite well. It's mostly just the stable coins that are pretty much in green. Even some of them are slightly down. Well, they're red, but they are stable. So you can see Bitcoin down 11% at the moment in the past 24 hours. I think the biggest dump happened, this morning. I'm in the UK time, so UTC, about 5 AM, it started to fall. And then within about 30-40 minutes, it hit its bottom on the CoinMarketCap chart. So you can see that's quite a big dump there. You might be asking yourself some questions. You know, a lot of crypto Twitter and a lot of the people I personally follow have been talking about how, you know, at the end of this year, they want to see Bitcoin 100k plus. I also thought that was going to be the case. I'm not much of a chart guy myself. I mostly just pick out different projects that I like the look of, do a bit of research into them. You could say more of a fundamentals type of guy. But yeah, as you can see from Bitcoin, it's not just Bitcoin, as we can see from the other coins. We'll just have a look through the top 100 real quick and scroll down. You can see that there's blood in the streets, pretty much everywhere. Sol's not doing too bad compared to the other ones. Ethereum's not doing as bad either. Even Binance, BNB. Yeah, as you scroll down the top 100, it doesn't look pretty. Yeah, wow. Speechless. Absolutely speechless. And we've just got the other ones loading in there. You can see some pretty big retracements over the past week as well, with the basic attention token down 34% in 7 days. And you see a couple of others a bit further down have the slightly bigger losses there, 35% there. Wow. Yeah, it's not nice to see. The first time I joined was in 2017 for crypto, and when the market crashed in 2017 last time, I just buried my head in the sand and I didn't look at the market again until early 2020. So a word of advice, don't do what I did. You know, at times like these, when you have such large dips like this across the entire crypto market, it's always a good time for you to pick up some more crypto. If you do really believe that, you know, cryptocurrency and blockchains are here to stay in the long term, you know, over the next 5, 10, 20 years, and then a little dip like this in, you know, retrospect, when you zoom out in the 5, 10 years time, it's not going to make much of a difference. But hopefully it's a bit of a wake-up call as well. You know, the markets have been doing really well over the past couple of years. So, you know, pullbacks like this are going to happen. It's healthy for them to do this. So you can see here just in the background, the liquidations that have occurred over the past 24 hours. You got the past 1 hour, 4 hours, 12 hours, and 24 hours. Whoa, wow. Big numbers, big numbers. $2.43 billion liquidated in the past 24 hours there. As you can see, I think a large majority of this will have come from Bitcoin as we go a bit further down. You can see there the longs compared to shorts. You see a large majority of longs, and also some shorts got liquidated as well, quite a few. I'm assuming that's people trying to catch the knife, as it were, and not quite catching it. Yeah, as you can see, it has happened in the past. You got plenty of long liquidations there, almost $1 billion. Back here, 2021 in September, you had 3.22 billion liquidated. So, you know that there have been bigger losses in the market. As you scroll down, you can see some of the most recent ones. Wow, 11k there, 24k there. Not nice to see. Yeah, you got to be careful when you're using leverage as well. Leverage is one of those things that it can make you a lot of money, but at the same time, it can really destroy you if you've not got proper risk management. You can see just right at the top, you've got the 24-hour long / shorts. We're just slightly on the shorts at the moment, which yeah, I mean, I've had a look at crypto Twitter today and it's been mixed. Some people I've been following on Twitter have been saying, you know, this is the bottom. We're in a healthy spot now after the correction. It's time for us to rise again. There's a couple more saying that sort of in you know, this is good for the long term. as I was saying to you at the start of the video, now that the market has dipped this much, it's time for people to start accumulating again, like me and you. I'm personally going to be looking at a couple of different projects now, just to see if I can pick up some nice sales, as I like to call it. I'm hoping that Mana and Sand, they're two good examples of what I'm going to look at with the whole metaverse and that sort of thing. I'm going to stay away from meme coins, things like Sheeb and Doge. I don't typically hold them sort of things in my own portfolio. I have no idea where they're going to go, so I'll stick to what I know with those ones. So this is a nice little website you can use here just to figure out the whole situation of liquidations. You can see $1 billion here on the Bitcoin longs and shorts. Just on the topic of longs and shorts, as we scroll down, you can just see here, you can see the statistics and all the exchanges and whether they're long or short. You can see that Bybit and BitMEX are pretty much leading on the longs at the moment, which is it's nice to see. I prefer people to long over short, to be honest, because I'm still holding, so I'm sure a lot of people are still holding. Another website we can use to look at some statistics and some data, DeFi Llama is a nice website to use. You can see that the total value locked across all chains, which is, things like a good example is PancakeSwap on the Binance Smart Chain. That's something that I personally use. I use that just to sort of build up a bit of a passive income if I'm holding certain coins. So if I'm holding Cake, I can just use their syrup pool, is what they call it, and I can start earning an interest on that. That's what total value locked is. It's basically assets that are locked earning interest. So you can see that it's also a bit of a downtrend, just like the rest of the market. I'm assuming something like this is because people are panicking a little bit more. After seeing a drop like that, people are thinking, is it going to go any further than what it has done already? So I'm assuming this is just people taking a bit of risk off the table, which is fair enough. It's something I probably should have looked at a little bit more in terms of my portfolio. I definitely could have done a bit more work on making sure everything's in the right places in case of any drops. A good thing to always do is hold a percentage of your crypto net worth in stablecoins and in stablecoin farms. You can find these farms on the main decentralized exchanges and also on some centralized ones as well, where when you put your stablecoins into these farms, you're basically earning an interest. You could look at it like you put in money into a bank account and you're earning interest on that. That's a kind of a simple way of looking at it. The idea of stablecoins is that they're always tied to the dollar. So when the crypto market does dip like this, you always have like an easy backup that you can just access quickly. That's definitely something I'm going to be looking at more myself once everything's sort of flattened out and recovered a little bit. Definitely going to be looking at a couple of different stablecoin farms. There's plenty out there, so just make sure you take a look at the different chains and just figure out what's best for you. So I'm going to say this again, please don't bury your head in the sand when you see these sort of red numbers. I know it's easy to do, you can just sort of look away and think, I'm in it for the long term, I'm in it for the tech, but you can make a lot more if you just make sure you manage your risk and also manage your portfolio during these sort of days. If you're feeling some sort of fear when it comes to the market after a dip like this, all you got to do is just zoom out and you can see, what's happened in the past with 2017. You can see it retraced quite a lot and then it started to rise again. All of these markets have to undergo some kind of correction, and it is for the long term at the end of the day. All right, so this is the Bitcoin chart that I've got at the moment. Let's just cross this off. So as you can see, this is the Bitcoin chart on the weekly time frame. It doesn't look the prettiest, but technically still in an uptrend. You can see we're still making higher highs and higher lows, kind of. It doesn't look the nicest, but if we can bounce up from here, then hopefully we can start reaching these numbers. The 90k or the 100k. But you can see from 2017, this is what happened in retrospect. When you zoom out, you can see. So as you can see from all the panic in 2017, that if you were around, just how well the market is doing now compared to back then. You can see also in March, we had, about February to March, the start of there, we had quite a large dip there as well. It went from about 10k down to about 5,000, something like that. So you can see that's quite a large dip there as well, quite a large retrace. And then we had this rip right up to the all-time high, and then we retraced again and then up to all-time high, and now this is the next retrace, and hopefully we'll bounce somewhere around here and we can make another all-time high. So you might be asking yourself, what is the reason for this sort of drop? So I'm just going to show a quick chart and a quick comparison so you can sort of get the idea where I'm coming from, and I've seen a couple of other guys on crypto Twitter talk about it as well. So as you can see from the chart here, some pretty nasty retracements, but as we go back to about March, February 2020, that was when a lot of countries announced lockdowns, and that's when COVID was really starting to pick up. The main stock market dumped quite heavily, and crypto followed it as well. And it's a similar thing at the moment with the new COVID variant that's coming about on the news, and the media's talking about it. I think the stock market has done quite poorly recently to do with that sort of news, and cryptos, as you can see, has also started to do the same. A lot of people don't like to sort of compare those two, but if I show you the SXP, As you can see, the past couple of weeks, there's been quite a nasty retracement up there. And if we go back to February, March of 2020, you can see how much it's dipped there as well. So they kind of followed each other, and they've both risen, you know, after these retracements. So it's something to just sort of keep an eye on. You can see that the whole history of this, I mean, it goes on for years and years and years now. But, you know, when you compare Bitcoin chart to the S&P 500, it's starting to correlate a little bit more than what it used to. I feel like more money from institutional investors is also going to the crypto markets. So you're going to see more of a similarity, I would say, just because it's the same funds or the same people that are managing large amounts of money. And also retail investors like me, I might have some shares in the S&P and I might also have some shares in Bitcoin. If I see that both markets aren't going to do very well, then I'm going to be looking to, you know, take some profits out of both of them. So that's what I'm sort of looking at for this. As you can see, yeah, it's had the same retracements on both of the times where COVID was mentioned, which I feel like is, you know, maybe a factor of it. And at the same time, you know, Bitcoin's done the same. So one last thing to mention before we head off for the day, as I scroll down here, you can see the amount of Bitcoin balances that are now on exchanges, and there's been a very high change of Bitcoin balances on a lot of these exchanges. You can see that Binance has definitely took the lead there, but in the past 7 days, over 7,000 Bitcoin has been transferred onto Binance. Usually when something like this happens, when large amounts of Bitcoin or Ethereum or other currencies move over to exchanges, it usually means that they're looking to sell. So all of this data and the websites and stuff that I'm looking at, they're all available to the public. So I'm going to link all these down in the description below so you can have a look for yourself. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on things like this so you can sort of get an indication of what other people are doing and where the big money's going. If you can see that lots of Bitcoin is being transferred off exchanges, it might be a good idea to just check the total value locked and all the other websites as well, just so you've got a bit more of a sentiment of whether people are bullish or bearish. I was about to wrap up the video and I completely forgot to mention this, the Fear and Greed Index. This is something that I didn't really know too much about back in 2017, but I've noticed quite a few people talking about it again on crypto Twitter. As you can see, that's where I hang out the most. But you can see you got a Fear and Greed Index here, and it basically gives like a market sentiment. So you can see at the moment that people are in extreme fear, which in terms of buying is good because it means a lot of people are fearful that the market might not be doing so well. But it's a good time to buy because you can see that the price has reflected people's emotions. And see, yesterday it was still fear, and last week it was extreme fear as well. But you can see last month might not have been such a good time to buy because everyone was quite greedy. They wanted to get more and more profits. As you can see now, people are wanting to sort of take profits now. As I scroll further down, they've also got a little bit of a chart of the fear and greed as well, which is quite nice. So you can see that pretty much last year, you can see the greed was really high, and it's dropped quite a bit further down. Got some pretty big lows there as well. Wow, 10. That's extreme fear. So you can see we're pretty low at the moment, which is sort of a good time to buy. And the price is still quite high up compared to last year. So, you know, it's definitely something to keep an eye on as well when you're tying up all these websites and all this data together. In my opinion, I'm definitely going to be looking to purchase some more cryptocurrency. Ones that I just see doing really well in the future. Maybe things that tie alongside the whole metaverse side, some more gaming projects. I'm a gamer myself. I feel like I've said it on every video so far. I'm going to keep investing in these sort of stocks because I want to see more gaming developers come over to this side of technology. All right, so by now you might have finished your cup of tea or cup of coffee. It should be about the right time. Yeah. It's definitely not nice, as I've said many times in this video, just to see, especially the all-time high value of your portfolio might be looking really nice, and to see it retrace as much as it might have done in the past 24 hours. It's it's rough to see, but at the end of the day, you know, crypto is a really volatile space and market. It's still not quite at the maturity level of, you know, the normal stock market, because there's just not as much money in there. I still feel like we're early. At the end of the day, there is only 21 million Bitcoin. I still see the price going a lot higher than what it is now, just off the basis of supply and demand. You know, when more countries decide they want to continue to use it, such as El Salvador, I mean, they bought the dip today. They announced they purchased an extra 150 Bitcoin on their Twitter, which is nice to see, you know. If you've got countries that are buying the dip, and you know, large majorities of countries don't even own any, or they haven't announced that they own any, I still think we're early. You know, I feel like more countries are going to be picking up on this over the next couple of years. I'd say 5 to 10 years. Yeah, I just hope that everyone gets along. That's going to be the end of this video. I know it's not really a great subject that you want to be listening to, but hopefully you've survived all the way through. And if you have, then please drop a like and subscribe as well. I aim to be posting a couple of videos a week, and I'm definitely going to scale that up as time goes on. I do want to make more videos for you guys. If you have any suggestions at all, then please post it in the comments below, and I can go through and start creating this content for you guys. At the end of the day, I want to tailor it to the people that watch the videos. If you've got any questions that you might want to ask, comment them down below as well. All of the tools and websites that I've used today, I'll put in the description below so you can have a look yourself. In the future, I do plan on making some videos to do with different websites and different tools that you can use to your advantage. Things like tracking crypto whale wallets to see what the big money's doing, total value locked between different exchanges, whether exchanges themselves are having more Bitcoin put on or more Bitcoin taken off their platform, just things like that. It's not really something I had when I first started, and if you are a beginner and this is your first big retracement, I would like to sort of share those things with you so you feel more comfortable next time. So that's going to be it for the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.